Hello, my name is Charlie Baker, and this is the tour of Saudi Arabia. In this video, I will tell you more about the location, languages, geography, economy, and more of Saudi Arabia. For some more basic information on Saudi Arabia, it borders 8 other countries and is the largest country in the Middle East. Known for their abundant amount of oil fields, they are known for their rich history. As the birthplace of Islam, they are also known widely for their holiness. With the abundant amount of money they have recently been talked about in the news and more for the sports world and paying athletes an immense amount of cash in order to have them play in Saudi pro leagues. More context on the location of Saudi Arabia. It is rounded by the Gulf of Aqaba and the Red Sea in the west, and the Persian Gulf in the east. The bordering countries of Saudi Arabia are Yemen, Iraq, Jordan, Kuwait, the United Arab Emirates, Qatar, and Oman. Riyadh is the capital city of Saudi Arabia with a population of around 7.6 million. There are over 10 cities in Saudi Arabia with 675,000 citizens or more. The land and location is also the home to two holy mosques, the Mecca and Medina. There are also 13 provinces or emirates of Saudi Arabia, which are Al Baha, Al Jawf, Al Medina, Asir, Eastern Province, Ha'il Province, Jazan, Makkah, Najran, North Border Province, Qasim, Riyadh, and Tabuk. These provinces are divided into 118 governorates as well. Since around the 70s and 80s of the 1900s, the revenues of oil from Saudi Arabia has given the Saudis major economic wealth. The economy the economy is mostly fueled by the petroleum outtake and industries. With around a fifth of the world's known oil reserves, the exporting of petroleum has fueled trade with major countries such as the United States, China, and Japan. Around three-fourths of the labor force is foreign laborers in Saudi Arabia. There are now major cargo ports for imports and exports in multiple parts of the cities as well. A major part of the climate in Saudi Arabia is dry heat because the kingdom is mainly desert. Similar to the deserts in Arizona, the winters range from around 60 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit, yet in the summers ranging from over 100 degrees to even 130 degrees Fahrenheit. In parts of the fall, they usually face monsoon winds as well. With constant heat waves, there are many heat-related deaths due to the citizens underestimating the constant heat. This can be critical to agricultural growth and also is now endangering citizens' lives and can even make the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia inhabitable. Islam is the main religion in Saudi Arabia, and the government lets the citizens know that it is approximately their law to defend Islam. Around two-thirds of the country's residents are Islamic or follow the Muslim religion as well. Those who do not follow the Muslim religion or are also seen as religious minorities are not allowed in Saudi Arabia to practice their religion openly. Around 90% of Saudi Arabian citizens are considered Sunni Muslims, while about 10% are considered Shia Muslims. Mecca and Medina are the two holiest cities of Islam, which both preside in Saudi Arabia. For many reasons, non-Muslims are not allowed to enter the city, although some Westerns have been able to enter by disguising themselves as Muslims. There are around 2 million Christians in Saudi Arabia. Converting to Islam is illegal, and many of the Christians in this kingdom are considered foreign workers. Religious freedom is not mainly seen as a thing in Saudi Arabia, and in 2023 they were scored a 0 out of 4 for religious freedom. Christians, on the other hand, see Saudi Arabia as the 13th most unideal or worst place in the world to be a Christian. As the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia being considered the home of Islam, it was the birthplace of the Islamic prophet Muhammad, who ruled the kingdom. If not a Muslim, it is not seen as the ideal place to live, and many who do not believe in this religion usually tend to not fit in. There are many different customs and traditions that the citizens of Saudi Arabia celebrate. For instance, and most commonly known is Ramadan, which is a month in the main year of Saudi Arabia that is followed by many other holidays as well. During this, those who follow the Islamic religion usually tend to fast from eating and drinking from dawn to dusk. Other policies that they follow are not any consumption of alcohol, and that women must wear an abaya whenever in a public place. Holding hands in public or any public display of affection among couples is also not acceptable. Another major part of Saudi Arabia's customs and cultures is music, as it reflects the history and shows the influence of nomadic Bedouins and pilgrims from around the world. The country's music varies depending on the regions as well. Holy cities such as Mecca reflect how the entire Islamic world has influenced the two cities. The deeply religious citizens of Saudi Arabia continuously follow Islam in its core and make sure to be very hospitable to those of other cultures who are experiencing different things when visiting Saudi Arabia. Although not open to non-Muslims, the Masjid al-Haram and the Al-Masjid al-Nawabi are known as the two holiest sites for Muslims. The two mosques are sacred and surrounded by the holy Kaaba, or the house of Allah. It is the main site for the two pilgrimages that many Muslims, such as tourists from other countries that practice the Islamic religion, attend to. For non-Muslims, the Kingdom Center, a must-see attraction in Riyadh, is a skyscraper that is around 300 meters tall and one of the most iconic structures in the country of Saudi Arabia. For tourists, it is the most commonly sought out place to go. It includes many different eating spots and a 5-star hotel with lavish apartments as well. In Jeddah, Al Balad is a sought out place to see for many people in Saudi Arabia as well. There are many traditional markets and different traditional houses that many would love to see. For many tourists who are considerate of the architecture in Saudi Arabia, the Al Rama Mosque is the most popular attraction in Jeddah. With the most contemporary Islamic architecture, it is built on stilts and is floating above the Red Sea. As of a few years ago, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia announced that it is opening the doors of tourism through e-visas for visitors from various countries, including the United States. It is important for citizens of the United States and other countries to know where they are traveling to and to be sure to respect their religion and customs. As it is very hot when traveling to Saudi Arabia, it is important to pack clothes for that time phrase. It is also important to respect the culture and religion of those citizens in Saudi Arabia and not go anywhere where non-Muslims are not permitted to. No alcohol or other medications are allowed in Saudi Arabia, so it is important for tourists to know of that. Another thing is that you may not show affection when traveling throughout the country.